the North American legend that never was. Dardoch, Dardoch, Dardoch. If you've been following the League Pro scene for a while now, you've likely heard of this name. His name, quite literally, lives in infamy. But let's take a trip back down memory lane and ask the question, how good was Dardoch really? Dardoch began his career as a top laner before swapping to the jungle position. After bouncing around different challenger leagues and teams, he eventually found himself on the 2015 Team Liquid Academy roster. And he played with them at the HGC Ascension tournament, finding a victory in the finals versus Team Frostbite, and the team then went on to have an undefeated open qualifier and main qualifier run. In that time, he demonstrated his incredible mechanical prowess that was largely unique to the North American scene at the time.
Fabi and Dardoch are on the Nexus. Massacre's looking for it. He's not going to fight it in time. The Nexus goes down. Liquid Academy are in the Challenger Series.
That is until everything suddenly changed for Dardoch forever. After starting jungler I Will Dominate decided to retire, Dardoch was inserted into the LCS roster. The team started out the season rocky, but that didn't stop Dardoch from putting on show-stopping performances.
Officer down and Team Liquid are still pushing in. The kick flash catches Hanser. He gets exercised and down he goes into the Pokeball. TO, 4 kills in a row.
He quickly gained acclaim as one of the best young NA prospects and one of the best junglers in the league. He sported a 5.7 KDA across the spring season and led all junglers with a 78% kill participation. Dardoch was the playmaker of Team Liquid, and they went as he went. For his efforts in getting the team there, Dardoch was awarded the Rookie of the Split. The team dismantled NRG in a 3-0 stomp that left many fans hoping for a deep Team Liquid run to the finals. They just needed to get past CLG in the semifinals. This was an epic series, a true NA classic, with both junglers, the hotshot rookie and the wily veteran, making impressive plays to secure their team the victory. And it all ended in one of the most iconic plays in North American League history.
That's a little ambitious. Oh, the double TP!
It's the double TP!
He only thought it was 35 seconds on Piglet. CLG may get the chance to defend that championship with 2 new members. It means a lot to Hui.
After Liquid's defeat to CLG, the team was then quickly ousted by Immortals in the losers bracket match. And Liquid, despite all their promise and new talent, were back in 4th place once again. But little did we know that the promise was already starting to erode from the inside, starting and ending with Dardoch himself. The team's pre-summer split bootcamp seemed to cause team dissension, and the team decided to suspend Dardoch for behavior and conduct detrimental to the team. But Team Liquid folded quickly. A few losses into the season, and Dardoch was back in the lineup. His talent was simply too good to pass up despite his baggage. But unfortunately, he wasn't the fix Liquid needed. The trust between the ranks was already broken. The team finished 9-9, and Dardoch himself fell in performance as well. At this point, Liquid was willing to try anything not to have to rely on Dardoch anymore. Prior to their regional final series, they replaced Dardoch in the jungle with their Academy mid laner, Arc2nd. He went from Rookie of the Split, with people talking about him as the best NA prospect in years, to this. Booted off the team for a mid laner turned jungler. But as is the case with traditional sports, if you can produce, people will tolerate. With a new set of colors on his jersey, Dardoch hoped to revitalize his image, especially after the widespread release of Breaking Point, a video documentary outlining his detrimental behavior. And he did perform better. In fact, Dardoch finished All-Pro second team, higher than during his first split with Team Liquid.
No, he lives! No, he doesn't!
He got the reset, though!
Gets him instead, Keith. Gonna get jumped on, he's dead as well. Dardoch!
You can see he's so happy about that. He may have just saved the game for Immortal.
But the team still finished in 7th place. Clearly, his play on the Rift wasn't resulting in wins. Immortals traded the star jungler, stating that he was difficult to work with. Still, CLG felt he was worth a shot. The team, known for friendship and camaraderie, hoped to bring the best out of Dardoch. And they started well, going 10-3. But out of nowhere, the team traded him back to Team Liquid because Dardoch refused to adhere to the standards set by the team for every player. This is despite Dardoch playing very well for CLG and ending the season with a single All-Pro vote. Once again, he was more trouble than he was worth. But there's always someone who thinks they can change you. Insert 2018 Echo Fox. Rick Fox, owner and operator of the former LCS team, believed his professional sports background could help connect with Dardoch. Clearly, Dardoch had attitude issues to match his incredible skill, but so did a lot of star NBA players Fox played with. And honestly, things looked great. The team finished in second place with a 12-4 record, and Dardoch was back to his former greatness.
For your departures from those teams, how much of it was you versus the team in your mind where the issue was?
Okay, well, just in general team atmospheres or team sports in general is always mutual fault. I'm always very open and honest about the fact that I've made a ton of mistakes in the past and I've wronged a lot of people, done a lot of things incorrectly.
He finished the spring split averaging the most kills and assists of any jungler, and he was a part of the 2018 Spring All-Pro team. Although the team was knocked out in the playoffs in the semifinals, it was a successful rebound for Dardoch's career. The summer split was not as successful, but the team still finished with a positive 10-8 record, and Dardoch once again made an All-Pro team while also receiving 5 votes for split MVP. Dardoch was starting to turn his image as a problem child around while also performing at an extremely high level. Finally, he was living up to his potential. If he could keep this up...
Well, it's the start of LCS with coverage brought to you by Alienware. The very first day here, and I'm talking to Dardoch, who up until 24 hours ago, I didn't think I was going to be able to talk to him, but you are here today.
Despite only starting a limited number of games for Optic, Dardoch cited it as the best team atmosphere he had been a part of. And maybe, just maybe, he could find another opportunity on a contender. And then came TSM. Team Solo Mid had the reputation of being serious and extremely goal-oriented. Paired that with the fact that Bjergsen was one of Dardoch's favorite players, and people thought it would work. But, unfortunately, it never really came together. Dardoch's performance, for the first time in his career, really began to dip at a rapid rate. His aggressive playmaking actually led his teams to more defeats than victories, and led to one of the more controversial moments in LCS history.
Picking for this guy was maybe a mistake.
It's not up to me. Like, for example, no one wants to pick up Dardoch. That's not my fault.
After his poor showing in this league, Dardoch was left with few options. He joined Dignitas, and in 2021 spring, helped lead them to an 11-7 record and made the third All-LCS Pro team.
Wisely so. Now with Sword Art taking some damage, they're grabbing some more CC onto him. Beautifully done by Dardoch. He did the butt twist.
But in the most Dardoch way possible, he was once again benched unceremoniously and left the team off the back of some sort of team altercation. It was the perfect end to his imperfect career. Despite his great production, he was more trouble than he was worth. And as the years went on, his playmaking wasn't enough to carry his teams to the same highs as he once could. Although we could say what could have been, I think we already saw it. Dardoch was never going to be more than what he was. And what he was a very talented NA player with attitude issues that were always going to hold him back. And sometimes, that's just how it goes.